The Bahá'í Faith, an emerging global religion. Welcome to Philosophy Examined. In this video, we delve into a faith that emerged in the 19th century and has since become one of the world's fastest growing religions, the Bahá'í Faith. In its essence, the Bahá'í Faith is an independent world religion that believes in the spiritual unity of all humankind. Its teachings call for world peace, universal education, and the harmony of science and religion. To understand the Bahá'í Faith, we must first take a journey back to 19th century Persia, now Iran. In the heart of this tumultuous period, the foundations of the Bahá'í Faith were laid. The story begins with a young man known as the Bab, meaning the gate. Born as Sayyid Ali Muhammad Shirazi, in 1819, the Bab claimed to be a messenger from God and called for spiritual and moral reform. Despite intense opposition, the Bab's message quickly gathered momentum, attracting thousands of followers who were drawn to his radical reinterpretation of Shia Islam and his calls for spiritual and moral reform. However, his teachings were seen as a threat by the Persian authorities and the established clergy. His proclamations, challenging the religious status quo and advocating for a new spiritual leader, were viewed as heretical and subversive. The threat perceived by the authorities led to the Bab's execution in 1850, a mere 6 years after he had first started spreading his message. He was publicly executed by firing squad in the city of Tabriz, a death viewed by his followers as a martyrdom. But his death did not mark the end of the movement. Instead, it sparked a wave of persecution against his followers, the Bahá'ís, as the authorities sought to suppress this burgeoning religious movement. The Bahá'ís faced widespread violence and discrimination, with thousands being killed in a brutal crackdown. Yet, the faith did not die out. In the face of persecution, it evolved and grew, shaping what would become the Bahá'í Faith. The Bab's teachings and his death became a central part of the Bahá'í narrative, a symbol of their history of perseverance in the face of adversity. One of these followers was a nobleman named Baha'u'llah. In 1863, amidst the persecution, Baha'u'llah announced that he was the one the Bab had foretold. Baha'u'llah's teachings centered around the principle of the oneness of humanity. He championed the idea of the unity of God, religion, and mankind, and emphasized the importance of justice, peace, and knowledge. After Baha'u'llah's death in 1892, his eldest son, Abdul Baha, assumed leadership. His interpretations and applications of Baha'u'llah's teachings further established the Bahá'í Faith's administrative structures and foundational principles. Since its establishment, the Bahá'í Faith has grown exponentially, with a presence now in almost every country around the globe. From a few thousand in the mid-19th century, the number of Baha'is has swelled into millions, spread across diverse cultures and societies. The Bahá'í Faith does not have a single person who is identified as the head of the faith in the way that some other religions do. Instead, the Bahá'í Faith is administered through a system of elected councils at the local, national, and international levels. The highest governing body in the Bahá'í Faith is the Universal House of Justice, located in Haifa, Israel. First elected in 1963, the Universal House of Justice is composed of 9 members who are elected every 5 years by the members of all national spiritual assemblies, another governing body in the Bahá'í administration. The Universal House of Justice is responsible for guiding the global Bahá'í community, making decisions on matters not explicitly covered in the Bahá'í scriptures, and ensuring the unity and progress of the Bahá'í Faith worldwide. Its decisions are considered infallible according to Bahá'í belief. The structure of Bahá'í administration, with its democratic elections and absence of clergy, reflects the Bahá'í principles of collective decision-making, equality, and the elimination of prejudice. This global spread of the Bahá'í Faith is reflective of its core principle of unity and diversity, with Baha'is coming from varied racial, ethnic, and socio-economic backgrounds. Yet despite their diversity, they are bound together by their shared belief in the teachings of Baha'u'llah. Here are some of the key teachings of Baha'u'llah and the beliefs of the Bahá'í Faith. Unity of God. Baha'u'llah taught the oneness of God, emphasizing that God is transcendent and unknowable. However, God's attributes and qualities are made known to humanity through his messengers. Unity of religion. Baha'u'llah proposed that all major world religions come from the same divine source, and their prophets or messengers are equally valid and inspired by God. These messengers include Abraham, Krishna, Zoroaster, Moses, Buddha, Jesus, and Muhammad. Unity of humanity. One of the most fundamental teachings of Baha'u'llah is the oneness of humanity. He stated that all humans, regardless of race, religion, class, or gender, are equal in the eyes of God, and that the purpose of life is to develop spiritual qualities and virtues. Equality of men and women. Baha'u'llah advocated for the equality of men and women, which was revolutionary during his time. He asserted that men and women are like the wings of one bird and that both are needed for humanity to reach its full potential. Harmony of science and religion. Baha'u'llah taught that science and religion are two complementary systems of knowledge that should work together to further human progress. He stated that truth cannot contradict truth, implying that the truths found in science and religion should be in harmony. Elimination of prejudices. Baha'u'llah called for the eradication of all forms of prejudice, whether based on race, religion, nationality, or class. He emphasized the importance of unity and mutual respect among all people. Universal education. Baha'u'llah emphasized the importance of education for all. He particularly highlighted the need for equal educational opportunities for men and women. A universal auxiliary language, to facilitate communication and understanding among people of diverse backgrounds. Baha'u'llah advocated for the adoption of a universal auxiliary language. World peace. Baha'u'llah taught that world peace is not only possible but inevitable. He proposed a system of collective security, overseen by a world governing body, as a means to achieve global peace. These teachings have shaped the Baha'i Faith and its diverse communities around the world. Baha'is strive to put these principles into practice in their individual lives and communities. Baha'is do not just hold these beliefs privately. Instead, they strive to create a more peaceful, equitable world in line with the core principles of their faith. This translates into active involvement in social and community development. Around the world, Baha'i communities run schools, implement socio-economic development programs, and engage in discourses on social policy at both the grassroots and international levels. But perhaps the most distinctive feature of Baha'i communities worldwide is their focus on creating spaces for spiritual empowerment and community building. This is apparent not just in the local devotional gatherings, children's classes, study groups, and youth empowerment programs that are regularly held in communities around the world, but also in the significant Baha'i centers that have been established globally. One of the most significant of these centers is the Baha'i World Center, located in Haifa, Israel. This is the spiritual and administrative heart of the Baha'i community. The World Center includes the Universal House of Justice, the governing body of the Baha'i Faith, and the stunningly beautiful Baha'i Gardens, which are a place of pilgrimage for Baha'is. The Shrine of the Bab is a structure on the slopes of Mount Carmel in Haifa, Israel, where the remains of the Bab, founder of the Bahá'í Faith and forerunner of Baha'u'llah in the Baha'i Faith, are buried. Baha'is also have 7 houses of worship around the world, designed as spaces for people of all backgrounds to come together in prayer and reflection. These temples are located in Australia, Cambodia, Chile, Germany, India, Panama, and the United States. Each of these houses of worship is architecturally unique, but they all share certain design principles, including 9 sides and a central dome, symbolizing the unity of all people and religions. India has one of the largest Bahá'í populations in the world, with communities spread across the country. The history of the Bahá'í Faith in India dates back to the 19th century, and it has since become an integral part of the country's tolerant and diverse religious landscape. Many early Indian Baha'is were drawn to the faith's principles of unity, peace, and equality, which resonated with their aspirations for an independent and united India. Throughout the 20th century, the Bahá'í community in India grew both in size and in influence. Today, Baha'is are present in every state of India, participating actively in social and community development activities. One of the most significant Bahá'í contributions to India is the Lotus Temple, located in New Delhi. Completed in 1986, the Lotus Temple serves as a Bahá'í house of worship and is a stunning architectural tribute to the Bahá'í principle of unity. The temple, shaped like a lotus flower, is open to all, regardless of religion or any other distinction, in line with Bahá'í principles. This iconic building has become one of India's most visited sites, welcoming millions of visitors each year. In addition to these houses of worship, Bahá'í communities run a variety of other facilities for spiritual and community development. For instance, the Bahá'í-inspired Ruhi Institute in Colombia has developed a widely used curriculum for spiritual and moral education. Through these diverse spaces and programs, Bahá'í communities worldwide offer opportunities for individuals of all ages to engage in a process of spiritual growth and contribute to the betterment of their communities. This approach to community building, deeply rooted in the teachings of the Bahá'í Faith, represents a unique contribution to the global conversation on social progress and development. In all these efforts, the ultimate aim is to translate Baha'u'llah's vision into reality, to build a world that reflects the principles of justice, unity, and equality, a world where the earth is but one country, and mankind its citizens. Over the years, numerous Baha'is have contributed significantly to society. They've made strides in various fields, embodying the core principles of their faith through their work and influence. Alain Locke is one such example. As a prominent philosopher and educator, Locke is often referred to as the father of the Harlem Renaissance. A fierce advocate for African American artists and intellectuals, Locke used his Bahá'í beliefs to promote unity, cultural pluralism, and social equality. Then we have Tahira, a renowned Persian poet and one of the earliest followers of the Bahá'í Faith. Beyond her poetic prowess, Tahira is celebrated as a leading advocate for women's rights in the Middle East. Her life and work symbolize the courage and resilience required to challenge societal norms in the pursuit of equality. In addition to Locke and Tahira, we have examples such as Louis Gregory, an African-American lawyer who worked tirelessly to promote racial unity in the United States. The Bahá'í Faith promotes the harmony of science and religion, holding that true science and true religion can never be in conflict. Consequently, Baha'is are encouraged to pursue knowledge in all its forms, including the sciences. Notable Bahá'í scientists include Dr. Farzam Arbab, who has contributed significantly to the field of physics, particularly in the area of particle physics. Dr. Hussein Danesh is a psychiatrist, educator, and author known for his work in conflict resolution and peace studies. His contributions to these fields are informed by his training in medicine and psychiatry, and his deep understanding of Bahá'í principles. Dr. Hussein Adi, who was born in Iran and based in the United States, has served as Assistant Superintendent of Schools in Harlem, New York. He has written extensively about the Bahá'í Faith, particularly its history in Iran and the United States. Speaking of notable Baha'is, let's not forget the influence this faith has had in the arts, particularly in music. A prime example would be the American soft rock duo Seals and Crofts. Composed of Jim Seals and Dash Crofts, the duo found fame in the 1970s with their unique blend of soft rock and folk. Their Bahá'í Faith was a major influence on their music and lyrics, offering listeners a glimpse into the principles and philosophy of the Bahá'í Faith. Take, for example, their popular song Hummingbird. While on the surface it might seem like a simple, catchy tune, Hummingbird holds deep spiritual significance. The hummingbird, a symbol of joy and beauty in many cultures, is used by Seals and Crofts to convey spiritual themes. The lyrics speak to the Bahá'í belief in the continuous search for truth and the ongoing journey of the soul towards spiritual enlightenment. Actors who identify as Bahá'í include Rainn Wilson, known for his role as Dwight Schrute in the television series The Office, and Justin Baldoni, well known for his role as Rafael Solano in the television series Jane the Virgin. Justin has used his platform to champion the rights of women and challenge traditional notions of masculinity. His book, Man Enough: Undefining My Masculinity, delves into these issues in depth. Drawing upon his Bahá'í Faith's teachings about the equality of men and women, Baldoni uses his personal experiences to question societal norms and advocate for a more inclusive, understanding, and expansive definition of what it means to be a man. These individuals, along with many others, are testaments to the Bahá'í commitment to social justice, unity, and equality. Their lives and works demonstrate the powerful ways in which faith can be put into action for the betterment of society. As we look forward, the Bahá'í Faith continues to evolve and grow, striving to realize its vision of world unity and peace. With an estimated 5 to 8 million adherents worldwide, the faith spans across diverse cultures, languages, and nationalities. Despite the many challenges and hurdles faced by Bahá'í communities across the globe, their steadfast commitment to the principles of their faith keeps propelling them forward. In a world often divided by differences, the Bahá'í message of unity and diversity offers a compelling and hopeful vision. As more people from different walks of life find resonance in its teachings, the Bahá'í Faith is expected to continue to expand its influence. Moreover, the faith's emphasis on social action and community development, its dedication to interfaith dialogue, and its efforts towards the betterment of society are likely to contribute to its continued growth. These are not just philosophical ideals but are values actively lived out by Baha'is in their daily lives, making their faith a transformative force for individuals and communities alike. Simultaneously, Baha'is around the world are also continuously exploring new ways to apply Baha'u'llah's teachings to contemporary issues, whether it be in the spheres of social justice, environmental sustainability, gender equality, or education. In doing so, they are helping to shape a more equitable and harmonious future, in line with the Bahá'í vision of unity and peace. It's an exciting journey to watch unfold. As the Bahá'í Faith evolves and grows, it continues to contribute to the global conversation on spirituality and societal progress, offering insights and solutions rooted in its unique perspective. This brief journey into the Bahá'í Faith only scratches the surface of its rich philosophy and history. However, we hope it has offered some insight into a religion that champions unity and diversity and seeks to create a more equitable, harmonious world. Thank you for joining us on Philosophy Examined. Until next time, keep exploring, keep questioning, and keep examining the world around you. If you haven't already, please subscribe to this channel.